Hi, my name's Emily. Thanks for joining me on the mat today. Thought we could go through a quick twisty flow and really get the body moving through the core and of course strength through the glutes as well. All right, so we'll just do a quick little movement just to warm us up. So just you can just stand with your feet a bit wider than hip distance apart. Soften the knees a little bit so you feel heavy through both feet. And then with the palms of your hands, just trying to touch and twist, touch the low back with both of the palms of your hands, and then just going side to side. You're welcome to close your eyes down if you like. That way of just tuning into the class, tuning into your body. Maybe just feeling how the movement kind of affects your breath a little and just softening into that. All right, once more each side, and then come back to standing. All right, let's walk to the top of our mat. Just take a moment before you reach up. Maybe look up towards the hands if it's comfortable, and then roll down. Hands touch down, head is heavy. Little breath to lift the chest. You can keep your knees as bent as you like, and then fold back in. From here, just walk the feet back to downward facing dog. Maybe just pedal through the feet, stretching your calves, or even wagging your tail, opening the side body. And then whenever you're ready, bring your knees down to the mat, untuck the toes, and sit back onto the heels if it's comfortable for you. If you find it's kind of uncomfortable to have the knees this flexed, I'd just recommend staying up on high knees. We can still do the same movements, but it might just be a bit more comfortable for you. All right, so wherever you are, reach the hands high, and then point the fingertips forward. Turn your hands out, so backs of the hands are touching. And then from here, right hand comes a little up, and then cross it over so now palms are touching. Interlace the fingers. Roll the hands in to your chest and then come down into a ball. And if you're high on your knees, it'll just look a bit like this. All right, when you're ready, uncurl the spine, uncurl the arms, reach up, little back bend, and then move forward. Come back into the little ball shape. Then high on the knees, squeeze the buttocks, unroll the arms, tiny back bend through the upper back, and then coming back down. This time as you come up, step the right foot forward, kneeling lunge, maybe a back bend here, and then rolling back in. Just keeping it moving, keeping it flowing. One more time, coming up, we know where we're going. This time tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Squeeze the left buttock so you can have some support, stability for your lunge. Place the left knee down, untuck the toes, sit back, come into your little ball shape. Then one more, step forward, you know the way. Step all the way to standing, squeeze the buttocks, standing back bend. And then release the hands, roll down. Soft knees. Place the left hand underneath your face. And then we'll slowly twist up towards the right, lifting the right hand. Maybe you straighten through the right leg a little or a lot, and bend through the left knee. Bring the right hand down, switch it over. Left hand reaches high, left leg goes straight. And then bring it down. From here, step your feet back into a plank position. You can come down into kneeling, or you can do it from full push-up all the way to the mat. Then adjust yourself as you need to on the mat. Bring fingertips a little wider than the mat. Elbows towards the ceiling. Lift the chest. And then come back down. Lift the chest. Squeeze the buttocks. And come back down. Hands by your lower ribs. Lift up maybe to all fours or all the way to push-up. And then downward facing dog. Again, coming through some movements that feel good for you, knowing that this is the start of your practice and your opportunity to really tune into what you need today. Excellent. Bring the knees down, untuck the toes, sit back onto the heels or your favorite position. Reach the hands up. As you bring them forward this time, as you flip them, then left hand goes high, flip them over so you can interlace the fingers and then find your little ball shape. Open up, open the arms, back bend. Come back in tight. And then open up this time, coming to high kneeling, squeeze the buttocks, support the back bend. And then come back down. Again, reaching up high, step the left foot forward, kneeling lunge. Coming back in. This time we're headed to our crescent lunge with back bend. And then coming back down. Seeing if you can do it really fluidly. Once more, coming up, step forward, find the lunge, then step into standing. Support the back bend again, squeezing the buttocks. Come back through, roll the arms down. Back home. All right, so bring the right hand underneath your face, and then we'll take a twist towards the left, straightening through the left leg. You might like to add a bind to this one. So turn your thumb to face towards the back of the room, and then bring the hand behind you, just touch down to wherever you like, perhaps all the way onto your right inner thigh. And then release, we'll switch it over, left hand underneath your face, open up into the twist, straighten to the right leg, and then add on the bind if you like. Just going somewhere that feels good for your shoulder, your arm. And then rolling down. Step the feet to the back of the mat, find plank pose. Again, bring the knees down if you prefer. And then from here, lower all the way to your belly. And we'll find that position again, up on fingertips, elbows pointing to the ceiling. This time, we're going to do a little bit of rolling side to side. So try and lift the right shoulder, then the left shoulder, and then right shoulder goes down, left shoulder goes down. Lift left shoulder, then right shoulder, and then bring left shoulder down, right shoulder down. Hands by the low ribs. You might press up to all fours or press up straight to a plank, and then press back, downward facing dog. And then see if you can find some stillness here, just to settle the breath, focus the mind. You might even close your eyes down. When you're ready, raise the right foot towards the ceiling. Then bring right knee into chest, hug it in really close, and then press it back, three-legged dog. This time as you bring right knee forward, cross it over the body towards left tricep, and then press back. Bring it forward this time to right tricep, and then press it back. Bring the knee towards the chest again, this time stepping the foot in between the hands and just helping it there if it doesn't quite get where you need. What I like to do here is just set up a really stable position before I move on. So imagining there's a river running down the midline of your mat. I want one foot to be on one side of the river and the other foot to be on the other. So we've got a stable base. From here, you can start to bring your head towards your knee as you straighten through the right leg a little or a lot. And then press it forward, lift the chest. Twice more, press back. And bring it forward. Press back. This time we'll stay here, just pausing for a moment. Stability in your left hand. And then as it's comfortable for you, start to take your right hand out to the side and up for a twisted triangle pose. See if you can really feel the twist through your abs, not just through the hands. Bring the right hand down, bend through the left knee. Little softness, bend to the right knee. Little softness to the left knee as you come up into Crescent Lunge. Reach the hands high. Just take a moment here to play with the shape. So I want this to be working your lower body. So feeling it in the glutes, feeling it in the thighs, and also feeling a little bit of opening through the front of the left hip. I want to take those opportunities to open through the front of our hip. Often they're quite tight, or at least for me. Excellent. Okay, so now leaning forward, you can separate the hands to lean forward. Bring left hand in towards your belly, reach across to the right to create a twist through the upper body, reminding your lower body to stay still. And then open by turning the back toes out into Warrior Two. Gaze over the front fingertips. All right, let's see if we can go back to where we were, reaching across the body, finding the twist, stable in the legs, and open to Warrior Two. Once more, go in your own pace. I'm hoping there's a few wobbles with this transition. And then flip the front palm, side bend towards the back of the room. And roll the top arm down so you can come back to Warrior Two. Straighten to the right leg. And then just adjust the feet to find a little bit of turnout through the feet, bend through the knees. Hands to your knees. And we're just going to start looking a little to the right and then to the left. Just gentle twists. My cat wants to be involved. Back and forth. All right, come back to center, reach up. Maybe look up. And then now we'll just point the toes forward and bring your hands down in front of your heart. We'll take the hands behind us, interlace the fingers, and try and keep the wrists together and the elbows a little bent. You'll see in a moment. Reach the chest towards the ceiling and then roll down into a forward fold. Just gently encouraging the hands down, but only doing so if you can keep the integrity through the hands, wrists, elbows, and shoulders. I really want you to focus on squeezing the shoulder blades together. So imagine that point along your spine that's right in between your shoulder blades, trying to squeeze it there as if maybe there was a marble or an orange or whatever kind of thing works for you to visualize. And then release the hands to the mat. Walk the hands over towards the left foot. Adjust the feet so now we're in a low lunge facing the back of the mat. And then step quietly with control the left foot back, finding a plank position. A really strong one where we push through the arms and we squeeze the buttocks. So trying to avoid this suspension bridge kind of shape and really trying to make it strong throughout the body. Awesome. So your choice, whether you place the knees down for the push-up, you might choose to do a half push-up, kneeling or full. And then you might choose to do a cobra, lifting the chest while supported by the ground, or you might be coming to upward facing dog, whatever feels good. And then press back, downward facing dog. Taking a couple of moments here, just letting the breath steady you. Raise the left leg to the ceiling as you're ready, and bring the knee in towards the chest. Tiger curl. Press back, three-legged dog. And then bring the left knee forward, this time crossing the body, right tricep. Press back. Left knee comes towards left tricep. Really strong, keep it tight. And then press back. As you bring the left knee forward, this time step the foot in between your hands and then just adjust your feet so you can find a really comfortable position, remembering that kind of idea of having a river of space that runs down the midline of your mat. As you're ready, bring your head in towards your left knee as you straighten through the left leg, a little or a lot. And then bend it forward. Lift the chest. Press back. Bring it forward. Lift the chest. Once more, press back, stay there. And then with support from your right hand, take your left hand out to the side and up towards the ceiling, twisted triangle. And if your knee's really bent, that's totally fine. We're just trying to keep the pelvis level. So instead of letting our kind of bum drop underneath us, keep the pelvis level. Twist comes from the upper body. Bring the left hand down, adjust your legs so you come into a low lunge with a soft back knee. Roll up to standing, finding crescent lunge. And again, really strong legs. Keep the arms up. Squeeze the buttocks, especially the right buttocks, to open through the front of the right hip. Trying to keep the body upright, the legs working hard. Separate the hands to lean forward, finding that 45-degree angle through the body. Right hand into the belly, reach across, create the twist. And then opening up. Open the back foot so you can come into warrior two, our side lunging position. All right, let's go back, see if we can make the transition smooth. Find the twist. And then find warrior two. One more time, find the twist. See all the little gymnastics I need to do with my feet to make it happen. And back to warrior two. Flip the front palm, side bend towards the back of the room. And then just drop the arm to come back to warrior two. Straighten through the left leg. And just casually adjust the feet. So you've got some turnout through the legs and then bend through the knees. Let's just go back to those twists that we were doing before. Quite like those. And this time focusing a little bit on when you press the knee, you might feel some lengthening in the inner thighs as well. Can be a nice feeling. Coming back to center when you're ready, reaching high, straight into the legs. And release the hands down. Let's point our toes forward. This time, another way of coming into these positions with the arms, I'll talk you through it, and I think it really gets you to connect with that space in between the shoulder blades. So if your hands are out like this, bend through the elbows, squeeze the elbows back as if you were trying to touch your elbows. Then you can interlace your fingers. Maybe you do the uncomfortable grip this time, squeezing the shoulder blades and then sealing the hands up. Maybe you straighten the arms a little bit, but always a tiny micro bend. Then from here, when you've got this really strong position through the shoulders and the upper back, lean forward, forward fold. I think he's had enough of the yoga. All right, staying here. Staying in your practice. If you'd like to add on a little bit of movement, you could take a bend through your right knee. So you shift your weight over to the right and then bring it back to center, over to the left. And just going back and forth. If you've had enough of the arms, you can bring them down if you like, just to have something different going on. Maybe even a little bit of stretch back into the inner thighs to keep that theme going. All right, next time you're over to the left, we'll stop there, come back to center. Walk the hands over to the right, so we're now facing the original front of the mat. And then with control, as much as possible, step the right foot back to find a plank pose. Again, making it a strong one. So if you are on your knees, still make it strong. So still press through the hands, round the upper back just a little bit, squeeze the buttocks to find the challenge. And even more so when you are up into the full plank position. It's really important. Then from here, you're welcome to come with knees down, or you might choose to come from full plank into Chaturanga Dandasana and into upward facing dog, or whichever back bend you're working with today. Downward facing dog. Pause here. Walk your hands into the middle of the mat and your feet as well. So you can roll up to standing and come to mountain pose with your arms reaching up in the middle of the mat. Release the hands. Let's close down the eyes. If you think of your breath as an undulation on a graph, see if you can just make it a little bit smoother. So of course, when we're working hard, those peaks and troughs get further and further away from the baseline. I'm just trying to imagine that you're gently suggesting for your breath just to equalize to its normal level. Maybe a little softness in the knees, kind of take some pressure out of the low back. And then slowly blink open the eyes. So I'd like us to come through a really short balancing sequence. And with this balancing sequence, I want us to always keep in mind that falling is not a failure. It's actually a chance for your body and your brain to learn how to catch yourself in a new position. So often, if we don't kind of push the boundaries of what's easy for us, so for you, standing on 2 feet might be really easy. Maybe even standing on 1 foot feels really easy. And then perhaps when we add all of these extra crazy things, that's your challenge. Wherever you're up to, we're just trying to nudge that boundary, because that's when we start to learn new things. And our brain can kind of catch us in those situations in our everyday life. All right, so what I want us to do is look for that challenge without kind of underdoing it or overdoing it. So I want you to stay safe in your balancing practice, but I do want there to be a little bit of like, oh, is it going to happen? Is it not? So a little bit of that kind of thing. So we'll just suggest that he moves along. Thank you. And just come to your mat, feet of hip distance apart. Let's take the hands out to the sides and up and bring the right knee in towards your chest, or just anywhere along the way that's comfortable for you. From here, straighten to the right leg if it's comfortable. Could be down here, could be some toes just to make extra balance. And then wherever you are, let's twist open towards the right. And then keep the balance. Bring right hand up and over, left hand down as you swing with control the right foot back. And then you might lean forward a little bit, you might lean forward a lot to twist towards the left. Then let's reverse it. Bring the right foot forward, twist towards the right. Once more, right foot goes back, arms twist left, chest to the left. And then come back to standing. Shake the legs out. Woo. How did you go? Did you get some challenge? Hope it was a little bit challenging, a little bit different. Let's move straight into the next side. Take your hands out and up. Bring the left knee into your chest. Decide where you'd like to have your straight leg. So perhaps down here, here, wherever. And then twist towards the left. Windmill the arms forward. Take the left foot back. Let's find our twisted half moon pose. Chest is trying to aim towards the right side of the room. And then coming back up. Left leg goes forward, chest towards the left side of the room. I hope I'm not the only one struggling. All right, one more time. Let's find the half moon pose with the twist towards the right. And then come back to center. Really give yourself a shake out. Hopefully that felt good in a challenging way. And then just step down towards the mat. Send your legs to one side so you can bring them forward. And then we're just going to do a little check-in with our abs. All right, so just with the knees bent. Again, it's all about working with where you're at, giving yourself that little bit of challenge, but also not pushing it so far that it's uncomfortable or not good for your body. Lean back so you get a bit of straight arm distance from the legs. So you can keep the toes down like this. Perhaps you lift the feet. You could even straighten the legs, totally up to you. Reach the arms forward, palms touch, hands towards the left, and then to the right, and then to the left. Place the feet down, separate them hip width, and then open into a twist using your left hand for support behind you. And really connecting left leg and right arm, squeezing them together to help you twist. Come back, find your boat pose, and then hands over to the right, hands over to the left, back to the right, feet come down, and find the twist, right fingertips for support. Again, creating some resistance between the right leg and the left arm. Come back to center, straight into boat pose. You might choose to go up a level. Maybe I'll do that just for, well, he's in the way now, so I've got to. Hands together, take it over to the left, over to the right, back to the left. Place your feet down about hip distance apart. Left hand behind you for support. Squeeze the buttocks to lift the hips. Right hand up and over, reaching behind you. And then place the buttocks back down. Again, quickly find Navasana. Hands together to the right, to the left, and back to the right. Feet down, hip distance apart. Right hand behind you for support. Squeeze through the buttocks, lift the hips, and reach left hand out behind you. And then bring it all back down. Well done. Bring your feet a little bit wider than hip distance, so maybe even mat distance apart. And then hands behind you. Let the knees fall over to the left, then to the right. Just keep going through those a few times. All right, next time you're over to the right, come back to center. This time, Knees pull to the left, right hand reaches back around. And then come back through center, right knees to the right, left hand reaches back. And then just going at your own pace. Sometimes you shift a bit forward on the mat, so just adjust that if you need to. Once more to the right. And come back to center. Roll down. Knees to chest. Maybe separate the knees so you can reach through for the outer blades of your feet for happy baby pose. You can hold into your thighs if that feels better. Really want to have the head really nice and relaxed on the floor. So I know sometimes when we hold the feet, the head can kind of do a bit of this, chin jutting towards the ceiling. So just give yourself the chance to have a little more ease through the neck. Release the feet down to the mat. Stretch out on the mat. Have your legs a little wider than hip distance apart and let the feet flop out to the sides, palms face the ceiling. You might like to reset the shoulders, finding a place where you can stay really comfortable and feel grounded as we come into our final relaxation. So if you'd like a little focus for this period of rest, period of introspection, you might like to kind of imagine your body expanding and contracting in response to your breath. So sometimes I like to have the image of a ball, maybe even a ball of light, that gets a little bigger with every inhalation. And then it shrinks back down a little bit on the exhalation. If you're someone who just likes to let the mind wander and really relax, feel heavy into the ground, you're welcome to do that too. Every time that you feel yourself kind of floating to what you're going to do next, or whatever other topics come up in your mind, just notice that that happened. Reassure yourself that that's what the mind does, and then come back to your presence. Whether that's the visualization of that ball responding to your breath, or if it's just staying in this moment and being here now. If you have the opportunity to continue your Shavasana, absolutely stay here for as long as you need. But if this is all the time you have for today, just start to wiggle the fingers and toes And bring yourself back into full awareness of your body. Maybe even a big morning stretch where you reach the hands behind you, point the toes, and then roll onto your favorite side. Just taking a moment there. Then you might help yourself up as gently as possible into a comfortable seat, maybe keeping the eyes closed down for a little while longer, just to really soak up these moments that you've made space for in your day. And you might bring your hands together in front of your heart and nod your head towards your hands, just as a symbol of gratitude to yourself for creating this space to practice and center yourself and hopefully contribute to your health and well-being. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me on the mat today. I hope you feel a little better in your body, a little more connected to yourself, and you feel like you've brightened your day a little bit. So I hope you join me on the mat again in the future. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.